From MTN News, this is Montana
I'm John
This
Shearer
Morning.
in Yellowstone National Park, where roads that have been closed for the winter are just about ready to open for the summer season. Coming up, I'll explain why that doesn't mean everything is open.
And MSU falls victim to a cyber attack yesterday. Find out what school officials are doing to contain it. All right, 6:32 on this Friday. We made it, Chet. We did it.
Here we are.
Pretty much. Well, and Matt, of course, he'll be joining everybody later tonight for the evening show he's covering for our chief meteorologist, Mike Hurd.
Darth Elwell working the
Elwell.
dark side. That's why he is there. So yeah.
Does that make us like Luke and Leia?
There you go.
Hey.
Which one are you?
Take your pick. I'm more like Chewbacca, kind of, yeah.
Oh, that's it. C-3PO, the annoying robot. That's who I am, yeah. Speaking of technology, you're going to be R2-D2? We'll be the bots. That'll be perfect. Take a look outside here. We'll use some other technology that's much more reliable than us as robots.
Yeah.
20s here in southwest Montana right now. Snow, it does hurt a lot. Technology bringing you some snow as well, snowing around southwest Montana. We'll show you that, and we'll show you some positive news as we head into the weekend. All of that coming up in a couple of minutes.
Boo, thank you. All right, well, it's hard to believe, but Yellowstone National Park is just hours away from opening up for the summer season, and it's currently snowing outside here in Tropical Four Corners. The roads inside the park will begin to reopen at 8 o'clock this morning, and MTN's John Shearer was in the park to explain how this season opening will be different than in previous years.
I'm at the top of the Mammoth Terraces here, where these gates, closed since last November, will soon be open to the general public so that there will be access to the interior of the park. Now, that comes with a few caveats.
We're telling a lot of people to remember a lot of it's weather dependent. We're still getting snow, so just be careful and pay attention and be prepared.
Here's an example. The Norris Geyser Basin is a popular place in the springtime, but heavy snow this past winter means it is not opening right now, even though some roads are open. Notice I said some roads. The road from West Yellowstone to Old Faithful and from Mammoth to Madison and Canyon is opening now. On May 5th, the road from Canyon to Lake to the east entrance will open. On May 12th, the roads from Old Faithful and Lake to the south entrance will open, and on May 26th, the road over Mount Washburn opens up. But that doesn't mean there's nothing to see right now.
The wildlife has been phenomenal, and this year compared to other years, I just think is spectacular.
So we have a grizzly bear that's been coming in and feeding on a bison carcass at Blacktail Pond. Also, there's been some wolf sightings in Lamar Valley right now. And last week we were very lucky and had a mountain lion that was visible for 3 days.
Top attractions like that are really important for businesses in Gardner who suffered last summer when June flooding wiped out roads and cut off access to the park until November.
I've been here, this will be my 9th season of having the gallery here in Gardner. And it seems like every other year we have something go wrong and have a bad season, then we have a good season. And so we're hoping this year is a good season to make up for last year.
A little bit of snow falling here at Mammoth is a good reminder of some of the obstacles that people face when they come to the park at this time of year. Park officials tell me that many of the popular springtime hiking trails are closed this season because of the heavy winter snow clogging those trails. Another reminder is to watch out for the weather. Park officials tell me that almost every day for the next week there is snow in the forecast that could lead to some early closures on roads. So watch the forecast and check out the park website. In Mammoth, in Yellowstone National Park, John Shearer, MTN News.
Thank you very much, John. There's already a line of cars out near the west entrance of Yellowstone National Park, so a very exciting day for many people hitting the national park. While focusing our attention to Montana State University, a cyber attack hitting many of its campuses. Yesterday, school officials notified students and staff of the issue shortly after receiving the message. All the MSU networking and internet services were shut down in an effort to contain the attack. The campus remained open for in-person classes and they continued as normal. And we've been hearing a lot recently about how artificial intelligence is learning to read and to write as well. But now AI could be helping doctors find lung cancers years before the disease ever develops. Chris Conte shows us how it's all possible.
Lung cancer is the deadliest cancer in the world, but I'm going to show you how artificial intelligence is helping to detect and treat the disease in ways never seen before. It is often inside some of the most unassuming buildings where some of the most life-changing breakthroughs happen.
There isn't any cancer here at this point.
This is Peter McHale. He's a researcher at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
So these are slices of someone's chest going from like their shoulders down to their abdomen.
And what he's showing me are CT scans of a person's lungs taken years ago.
That region right there, that's actually diagnosed cancer.
See that collection of red dots? That is an area of this lung that will become cancer.
It's actually predicting that 3 years later, this person is going to get cancer.
How does Peter know that? Thanks to a new way of using artificial intelligence to detect early signs of future lung cancer that doctors can't see.
I don't tell the machine that this is what it needs to look for. It's supposed to learn what to look for.
The team here decided to name their new AI program Sybil, after the ancient Greek oracles, who in mythology can see into the future, which is in large part what they're trying to do here.
Today, the clinicians are trained to give the judgment what they see on the image, which is whether the patient does have cancer today or not. While what we are trying to do, not looking ahead.
Regina Barzilay is one of the lead researchers on the project.
AI in healthcare is maybe one of the most underutilized areas of application of AI.
Currently, the CDC recommends adults at risk for lung cancer get CT scans each year. But even with regular screenings, radiologists can't spot everything. Sybil, though, can see what humans can't.
So she's looking at like very minute patterns that are already there.
That are already there, yeah.
Sybil is looking at millions of tiny pixels, trying to spot patterns that in this case show the possibility of lung cancer developing 3 to 6 years before cancer shows up in a traditional screening.
What Sybil tries to do is actually to look many years ahead and say how likely that this patient will develop cancer.
Regina and her team don't see Sybil as replacing doctors or radiologists. Instead, they view her as another tool that can be used to help doctors develop more specialized treatment for an individual's cancer. Large-scale clinical deployment of Sybil is still years away, but with hundreds of thousands of Americans being diagnosed with lung cancer each year, artificial intelligence could someday be a game changer.
Do you see this saving lives at some point?
I absolutely believe that it is, whenever it will be deployed in large scale, it will save lives.
Chris Conte, Scripps News, Boston.
Pretty amazing technology there. 6:40, a ceremony yesterday kicked off construction of a new fire station, which will be located next to the MSU Campus Police Department by 7th and Kagi. MTN's Kristen Merkel explains why it was so important for the station to be there and what will be most efficiently able to respond as the community is going to grow.
The Bozeman Fire Department and MSU are excited to break ground on this plot of land right behind me next to the MSU Police Station for the new Fire Station 2 to help keep up with the growth and development of the south side of Bozeman.
Having the new Station 2 being closer to kind of where expansion is, the growth, being able to respond quicker.
Bozeman firefighter Luke Szymanski says the fire department has outgrown the old Station 2 on North 19th and is ready for a change.
We're excited for a new facility. The old Station 2 is an amazing place, a lot of history there, but it's kind of antiquated. There's some things falling apart, and we're running out of space is kind of our biggest issues.
The new Fire Station 2 will be located off Kagi Boulevard on Montana State University's campus next to the campus police office. The move is the result of a 2017 City Commission study that concluded Fire Station 1 and 2 were not in the best places for Bozeman's growth.
The community has just grown so much. The location that we're moving Station 2 is exactly where the consultants recommended. It helps us with response times as we continue to address the growth in this community.
Chief Waldo says there is a lot of power in the relationship between the city and the university.
A lot of people said, well, that's the university property, it'll never happen, and I think this just goes to show the power of partnerships between the city and the university, and that what a lot of people thought was impossible is coming to fruition today.
For Szymanski, he's looking forward to the day he responds to calls from the new Fire Station 2.
To be a part of the history of Station 2 and then just seeing the progression into a new facility, it's really an exciting day.
In Bozeman, Kristen Merkel, MTN News.
All right, thank you very much, Kristen. 6:42 now. Time for a quick break here on Montana This Morning.